Hello and welcome back. This time we will continue our Bob Marley exploration, shall we? And in this tarot spread, I would like to see what we can get from the Buffalo Soldier song. If you're not familiar with it and what it's about, a few lines from Buffalo Soldier is, he was a Buffalo soldier, dreadlock rasta, stolen from Africa, brought to America, fighting on arrival, fighting for survival. And what the most poignant part of that song for me, and I think a lot of people, is when he says, if you know your history, then you would know where you're coming from. Then you wouldn't have to ask me, who the hell do I think I am? I'm just a Buffalo soldier, dreadlock rasta. I love that song. It's packed with history, number one. One of the few songs that weaves the truth about our history into it, and in a poetic way, in a beautiful, magical way that only Bob can do, or has done. And with Buffalo Soldier, Dreadlock Rasta, I think up to, of course, Civil Rights Movement, but more recently, the fight for African American history in schools. It is abominable and amazing that our history is taken out of schools one by one by one. There is a lot of things that should be taken out of school, but Black history is not one of them. However, thanks to the internet and the fact that the schools never did a good job anyway of teaching our history, not correctly and not in a way that is impactful and not enough. This is a job done at home, definitely. This is something that needs to be enjoyed, immersed in with pride, and just with a different tone, if you will. So I would say they did us a favor, okay? Instead of us waiting for Black History Month, 1 month out of the year, to celebrate ourselves, let's do it every day. Let's do it all the time. Let's use our information at will and find out about our history ourselves. Because, it's one thing to say, or to believe in trickle-down economics, which I don't. However, in the U.S., trickle-down economics is a thing, right? But there is definitely trickle-down poverty, trickle-down effects of generations of wealth that has been stolen, and then you wonder why the descendants of those people that work for free are not want to even kill with those that came from wealthy families, and it was passed down and power was passed down. And I mean, you got to teach that to your kids so they don't look around and think, well, I'm less than because I'm brown, or I'm less than because of my history or where I came from, and someone else is better than because they have more. Let's tell the truth. Who built this country? Where did these corporations get their wealth in the beginning? It was free labor. Without free labor, they would not have such a boom. So yeah, they want us to forget that though. But thank God for the internet and for us being resourceful. It will never be forgotten. I remember when I was in college, and there was the Black Awareness Society that I was part of. And they were like, having a meeting, and they were complaining that we didn't have on the curriculum African studies or African American history. So I thought, this isn't fair. We need to have, our history as an elective at the very least. It doesn't have to be a requirement, but as an elective, because we had German and we had other cultures, and the school was represented more of African descendants, African Americans, Black people. So I was part of the newspaper as well, and I wrote an article about it, and I called for a protest. Well, they didn't like that, and I got in a lot of trouble at school. It ended up well. I had to, it was injustice all over it, but I did end up graduating in the end. But they tried to fight me for that. There was a lot of backlash because I was standing up for the right to have the class. But guess what? The course was implemented. The courses were implemented. And when the professor of African American experience came to school or came to class, I remember introducing myself and letting him know the history behind that course becoming introduced. And he was flabbergasted, and of course he congratulated me on getting that done, and he thought, and then we just went over the whole, thing about Black history in the U.S. and in Philadelphia, where I was from at the time, and how he just never seen anything like that compared to other parts of the world. But yeah, don't let them take our history from us. I mean, I can't believe that this is a thing now. We've come so far, and you want to believe for this to be a thing. It's just really, it's unreal. So with that, thank you for listening to that long intro. Let's get into the cards. I'm going to start off with the Numerology deck and see what they have to tell us as all citizens of this planet. Not just Americans, not just Black Americans, not just African descendants. Because once they start to censor information such as history, are you kidding? Where are they going to stop? It's going to, again, as I always say, don't wait till it knocks on your door to care. So let's see. First quarter moon in Capricorn, unleash your kindest self. Unleash your kindest self. Let me get a follow-up with that. Okay. Practice gratitude. Last quarter moon in Sagittarius. And last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. I think when it comes to the information about our history, that instead of us talking about the facts behind it or paying attention to the facts behind it, feel how the people felt. When you read these experiences, try to find some documentaries or try to find real life letters that were written by people in your ancestry or in history, maybe former slaves or people living under colonialistic times. That would help you feel what it was like. Because it's one thing just to read about it or to hear about it, but to really feel what they felt is another thing. It can empower you more. Let's see, with the unleash your kindest self. Maybe when you do find out about these things, instead of reacting in a way that is maybe, fired up and angry, try to be patient and kind, knowing that other people are not as aware of what you have learned. So coming at them like your friends and family, for instance, and talking about these things, try to understand that they may be oblivious to a lot of things that you are learning or have learned about this. So just, stay patient and kind and say what you can say in few words, try not to overwhelm them with information, and then just trust that life will take care of the rest. And practice gratitude. Practice gratitude that you do have freedoms, that you do have, of course, we have a lot more way to go, but it's still a lot better than it was. And when you read about how it was, or if you appreciate how it was, you'll know that that's the truth. You'll know that that's the truth. So let's get the Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle message. And this doesn't make you anti any other culture, because I represent so many cultures and I'm proud of them all. Even the ones who have had some ghastly behavior toward my Black or African ancestors, I'm still part of all. So I'm never going to shame people for not being African American or from being a white or Caucasian descendant. It's not what this is about. You can do both. You can appreciate all cultures without whitewashing what happened in the past that affected many people then and till this day. Truth is truth. Okay, ancestors, what do you want to say about this? We got two coming out together. Father God, radical truth, so poignant. And Jumbi, like the Maka Jumbi, total disruption. I think not total disruption, but maybe make some noise, you know, make some righteous good noise, like, you know, become a peaceful activist. Passionate, but non-violent, peaceful, to disrupt, especially maybe you want to speak up about this, about African history being shut down as much as they can. Radical truth speaks for itself. Let's see, let's get a shadow. No. Let me see what the African goddess has to say. Come on, mommies, what you have to say about this. Grief, just like the last Bob Marley video I did, and cosmic power. Oh, turn that pain into power. Turn that grief that you feel into motivating you to make something happen. Even on the cosmic level, if you can go there, you know, if you're not new to this, but try a thing. And I think that that's the best. That's what I'm asking you to do. That's what I do. Let's see what else. In my shadow work oracle. Such a tiny little deck, but it has what I want. Okay, quick. Avoidance. Face what you fear, for avoidance is but a temporary refuge. Wow, and do you see that ship? Right away I thought of a slave ship. I don't know if you guys can see it. Face what you fear. So some of you may be afraid to speak up. But avoidance is a temporary refuge, because sometimes life have a way of bringing these things to you so that you can't avoid it anymore, you know? So care about it now. Don't wait until the situation is worse. You know, like, okay, well, they won't go that far. Okay, they took a little bit of our rights, but they won't go that far. Okay, but, you know, let's not do that. So that's all for now. I will come back. I don't know if it'll be Bob Marley or it'll be something. If it is Bob Marley, I'll try to find a love song to lighten up Bob a little bit. He was serious, he was passionate in all his glory, but he did have a romantic side, so yeah, I think I'll do that. And I will see you next time.